Hello everyone, my name is Gemma and I am from Compass Children and Young People's Drug and Alcohol Service in Warwickshire. Today my presentation is on exploitation and county lines. I expect it to last around 20 to 30 minutes, so make yourself comfortable and I hope you find this presentation helpful. Hello everyone, my name is Gemma and I am from Compass Children and Young People's Drug and Alcohol Service in Warwickshire. Today my presentation is on exploitation and county lines. I expect it to last around 20 to 30 minutes, so make yourself comfortable and I hope you find this presentation helpful. This slide is going to give a brief overview of the different services within Compass and what they do. Within the Children and Young Persons Drug and Alcohol Service, we provide one-to-one support to those young people who need support around substance misuse. We also go into schools and colleges and we provide classroom workshops on drug awareness. We also support parents and carers who are worried about their child's substance use. We've recently launched our service called Compass Stars. This is our hidden harm service and it provides support for children and young people who are affected by another substance misuse, such as a parent. We have our youth justice service and within that service we provide equine therapy. And we also have our school health and wellbeing service, which is our school nurses, and they provide support to young people and families for health and wellbeing. This slide is going to give a brief overview of the different services within Compass and what they do. Within the Children and Young Persons Drug and Alcohol Service, we provide one-to-one support to those young people who need support around substance misuse. We also go into schools and colleges and we provide classroom workshops on drug awareness. We also support parents and carers who are worried about their child's substance use. We've recently launched our service called Compass Stars. This is our hidden harm service and it provides support for children and young people who are affected by another substance misuse, such as a parent. We have our youth justice service and within that service we provide equine therapy. And we also have our school health and wellbeing service, which is our school nurses, and they provide support to young people and families for health and wellbeing. The aim of today's session is to develop your understanding of exploitation and county lines. To do that, I will share practical tips on how to spot the signs and how to stay safe. I will also provide some support and guidance and signpost you to specialist support services within Warwickshire. This slide is going to give you an overview of what county lines is. So county line is effectively a phone line which is used to supply drugs. It involves gang members who recruit and exploit young people and children and force them to take large quantities of drugs from urban areas such as London, Birmingham, into more rural towns, where they will then stay in a house which is sometimes known as a trap house, where they will then deal drugs from. Although it has been around for some time, we are only just beginning to understand the extent of the problem. It is estimated that around 46,000 children in England are involved in gang activity today. It is thought that they're usually recruited via social media and violence is often used to threaten children and young people when recruiting them. I would now advise that you watch this 5-minute YouTube video on county lines. How are children being exploited? Any child can be exploited, no matter on their age or their background. It is known that apparently children as young as 7 are being put in danger by criminals who are taking advantage of how innocent and inexperienced these young people are. Criminals are deliberately targeting vulnerable children, so those who are homeless, with learning difficulties, going through family breakdowns, struggling at school, living in care homes or living in poverty. These criminals groom children into trafficking their drugs for them, with promises of money, friendship and status. Once they've been drawn in, these children are controlled under threats, violence and sexual abuse, leaving them traumatised and living in fear. These children then become trapped in criminal exploitation and the young people involved feel as if they have no choice but to continue with what they're doing and what the criminals want. How do gangs recruit their members? So firstly, they will look for a potential target. These targets are usually children who I mentioned before maybe are homeless, experiencing learning difficulties, struggling at school, maybe being excluded from school, living in care homes and living in poverty. The gang member will then befriend the victim and establish a rapport with them. They will give them a sense of belonging to a gang, a sense of acceptance, and give them power over other people. Once this rapport has been established, they will then create an appealing lifestyle to the victim. They will give them gifts such as jewellery, trainers, money, mobile phones to keep them reeled in. The third stage is obviously when the young person will then feel hooked on the lifestyle and made to feel like a member of the gang or group. They might be given responsibilities that may involve criminal exploitation and recruitment of other members to join the gang. At the fourth stage is when they're actually feeling trapped. So this stage is arguably the most dangerous stage of the recruitment strategy. This can include money offering, drug dependency, blackmail, or even physical violence such as stabbing, raping and torture. The victim will more than often feel dependent on the gang for survival. How are young people recruited? So usually through peer pressure. So gang members will pressure young, vulnerable children into joining their gang. They will give them a sense of belonging, a sense of being within a group. It will give them a chance to feel respected and important, make them feel protected and give them a status. They'll also obviously let them know that it's a chance for them to make money. As I said before, these young people and children usually come from poverty, and gang members will give them an opportunity of wearing the newest trainers, the newest clothes, which again will lure victims in. They might target children who have been excluded from school, children who are concerned about their future now that school's not in there. This slide is on cuckooing. So what is cuckooing? So it is where gang members will take over the homes of vulnerable people and use them as a home for selling drugs, which I previously referred to as a trap house. So they will use these houses to store and sell drugs from them. It's usually vulnerable people who are targeted to use their homes. So it might include adults with learning difficulties, older teenagers or adults who live alone and have no family or social support structure, adults in financial difficulty, or adults who are drug and alcohol abusers. Someone who ends up being cuckooed and having their home taken over to sell and store drugs may find themselves homeless if the police evict them. However, as the police have got much better at recognising when cuckooing is taking place, gangs are now using hotel rooms where a runner may be forced to stay there with a quantity of drugs and buyers will attend the hotel to buy the drugs. This slide is on some of the terminology which is usually used by gang members. Going country. This is the most popular term that describes county lines activity. It can also mean the act of travelling to another city or town to deliver drugs or money. Trap house. It is a building used as a base to sell drugs. These houses are usually occupied by someone and they are then taken over and used to sell drugs. Trapping. This is the act of selling drugs. So trapping can refer to the act of moving drugs from one town to another or the act of selling drugs in one location. Debt slavery, when a young person is forced to work in order to pay off their debt. Here are some safety tips for children and young people. Keep mobile phone charged so parents and carers can reach you. Check your social media privacy settings. This is really important. Lots of young people and children use social media now. And as I said before, gang members will use that platform to recruit. So it's really important that your privacy settings are set to private. This will stop strangers from contacting you online. Always let a trusted adult know where you are going. Talk to friends and adults, so have a network of support and people you can turn to. Tell somebody if something doesn't feel right. So that could be a friend. Call 999 if you think someone you know is in danger. Contact Childline on 0800 1111. Call the Warwickshire CSE team on 01926 684 490. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. And remember, you are the victim. Thank you for listening. I hope you found the presentation helpful. Here are some contact details on how you can get in touch with Compass. So as I said before, Compass is a drug and alcohol service for children and young people within Warwickshire. We offer one-to-one support and we also offer classroom-based workshops. Our office telephone number is just there, the 01788 number. We have a chat help service for young people where you can text us anonymously. We have a website, and then you can also find us on social media on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you.